arms around me. I need to feel your touch.
Hello! How's everyone's day going? I'm gonna be real with y'all for a second. I've literally just been sitting here for like 10 minutes snacking. I just wasn't ready to talk yet. I was hungry. Anyway, we are going to be playing this magical girl's bitch, and I am so excited. You'll have no idea. I found this game after like 2 hours of scrolling, and I'm just like, I need to play this. It was just one of those, yep, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So, that's what we're doing today. Unfortunately, to do the things, I also have to stop the music because I need to make sure the things are working, so. There's that. So, music going in 3, 2, 1, Boop. Gotta go over here. Like, I don't even remember how long I was scrolling. I was just looking for games to play for possible collabs and all that. And with friends, and I'm just like, oh, this is good. So I decided I had to play it. So we're gonna wait until that does the things. But yeah, that's what we're doing. It's gonna be fun. If Steam decides to do the things, that would be the trick right there. Come on, load, please. Steam, why are you leaving me hanging like this? So rude. Oh well. Oh well. Oh wait, we got something. We got something. I cleaned my house this morning. I am very proud of myself because one, heck, it needed it. And two, now my house smells good, so that's always a plus. But I vacuumed all the carpet. I cleaned the kitchen, cleaned the bathroom, vacuumed my bedroom because that can wait. To clean completely, let's be real here. Made some tea. Wait, no. I made 2 cups of coffee. I usually make tea. At least 1 cup in the morning. We just had 2 cups of coffee. What else did I do? I don't know. I might make an avocado here later today. That'd be fun. I also woke up and decided I was gonna start researching the things to do drawing again, so that's also fun. I'm actually really excited about that one because I'm just like, oh shit, I'm reading something else other than like webtoons and self-help books. Because my brain likes to hyperfixate on things and I don't even understand sometimes why we're hyperfixating. It's just a thing. So it is what it is at that point. I was just stuck with it. We loaded. I just had the screens come up, so we should be. Technical difficulties. There it goes. Aha. Okay, hold on. Haha. Okay, hold on. I gotta fix this, y'all. It's saying it's not a game again. It is too a game. How dare. There we go. Haha. I mean, well, look at this. Like, that's so cute. I gotta fix this. Hold up. Mew. I get a wand. And I can see chat. Look at that. Like, this game has it all. Okay, settings first. Where's that? We're gonna bring the voice volume down. Sound volume. Okay, accessibility. All right. Looking good. Alrighty. So, I'm gonna have so much freaking fun with this. We gonna start in 3, 2, 1. It was a dark and stormy Monday. Like any other day of autumn, the sky was overcast, but the students of middling middle school were unfazed by the gloom. Instead, the halls were unusually charged with electric excitement and spectacular anticipation. Woohoo! I'm sorry, I can't get over the little magic wand. It's just. Oh no, back! Whoops. Alright. Let's go! The students collectively groaned. Nice. Hold on, I gotta go and chase after my dog. Neat. You in there. Yeah, go. Okay, I'm back. Why pumpkin pie and ice cream though? That's not very Halloweeny. Just saying. All right. Mm-hmm. So you seem very cocky. Excited but cocky. Ooh, what happened with that? No, I want to know. Let me know. Did it fall on somebody? Did it fall on somebody? Why did you have a skunk in the school? What are you doing, sir? Why was there a skunk in the school? That is my legitimate question. Why? Just why? Chaos, apparently. Oh, look at her. She looks like she doesn't want to talk to anyone. Tabby was not having a good morning. In fact, Tabby never had a good morning when she was at school. You quit it. Quit? Quit it. You dig a lid. Lay down. What do? No, I'm not letting you out of the room so you can cause chaos and terrorize the village. It's not happening. You're stuck in here with me, pup. You're stuck. Wahaha. Oh, thank you. There was way too many people looking her way, watching her every move, waiting for her to trip up so they could laugh at her. That is my face, sir. Right, me for. Doo-doo-doo. What are we doing, sir? Besides interrupting trade and causing chaos. Yes, you. Why are we causing chaos? As we run off to grab something. What are you doing? We have zoomies, people. We have zoomies. Yeah. 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 Hold on, I'm gonna grab a snack. Doo-doo-doo. Beer. You need to stop. Okay, I'm back. They're always sneering at me. Like, they think their little clicks are too good for me. That seems like some angst there, Tabby. Tonathan? What? What kind of name is that? Like, is it Tonathan? Tonathan? Oh, wait, that one actually sounds mean. That one actually sounds being my bed. Dang, girl's got some angst. Why is their little what do they have the mascot? Why? Like, is it the mascot that they're just like, oh hey, let's put his footprints down? What do? Can we agree these two seem to have a crush on Tabby? Like, legit. He's over here swooning in, he's all giddy. I mean, not wrong. See, my point is proven! My point is proven. Tabby grew out of wanting friends fast. Endless bullying will do that to someone. I was not expecting to be personally attacked by a video game today. Damn, right in the childhood. Okay. Okay. I mean, true, but damn. She couldn't even imagine being that naive anymore. Tabby was fully aware that this was her destiny, to be alone, unwanted, forcibly isolated. Oh, I love his character design. That's cool. She's glittery. He's just like, what the hell did I do? Oh my goodness. That face. That is oh my goodness. He's so cute. Look at his little face. He's adorable. He's adorable. And she's just mad. He also looked very offended. Molten rage and mild embarrassment bubbled through Tabby as she started. I can't read today. Stared into the face of her ultimate nemesis, Eden. Eden something or other. Last names didn't matter. It was how he treated her that made her seethe with frustration. Is it because he's nice? Well, he's a little bit rude, but still no reason to just hate on him. See, that's reasonable. That's a reasonable reason to be mad. No. No. See? That was not his intention. What the hell, girl? What the hell? He's not a bully. That was a very reasonable interaction. She looked around in vain at the crowd milling around them, not seeing a single friendly face. He didn't do anything wrong. because someone didn't want to move so he could get his things. That's perfectly reasonable. Tabby spun towards her homeroom teacher's voice in recognition. The hallway rapidly emptied out around them as any stragglers and witnesses fled to their respective classrooms. She's so mad for no reason. Tabby gawked incredulously at her homeroom teacher and then stepped off to the side, shaking her head no. Honestly, she should have known. No one would be on her side. Not even the ones in charge. I'm sorry, girl, but I can't be on your side right now. He was being really reasonable. He just wanted his books for class. Oof. That's tough. I like his little hair. He's a little broody too. And he's just walking off, not saying anything. For just a second, Tabby considered speaking up and pleading her case, but the moment passed as quickly as it came. Mr. Teacher didn't bother to linger, all but jogging off to greet a different group of students. Tabby stared sullenly at his back before walking briskly in the direction of her classroom. Girl, I am finding it hard to be on your side. That was completely reasonable. Mr. Teacher attempted to rein his homeroom class in for the 5th time that morning. But just like every other year, the students were too excited about Halloween Spirit Week to pay attention. He decided to launch it into his 3-part lesson on the history of Halloween anyway. Mm-hmm. Yep. A portion of the students fell for his well-rehearsed hook and began to quiet down. Even so, a handful of students continued to discuss their Halloween plans in hushed excitement. Ooh, Sue, what you make? Oh, that's nice. Dan, those are contradictory. I mean, if you're creative enough, I guess. He's so excited. Look at that face. That is the face of pure passion about what he's talking about. Look at him. How fitting for the bully to love terrifying people. Callum's not saying anything. He's just watching at this point. He's here for the drama. He's just here for the drama. The other kids nearby laughed in surprise too, which caught Mr. Teacher's attention. Tabby felt her stomach drop as the whole class turned to stare at her. Of course, he let his favorite students get away with talking during class, but not her. I think we have a little bit of complex here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Tabby tried to swallow the lump forming in her throat, but she just became more nervous by the second. And he's covering for her. He's covering for her. Girl, I can't with you. I can't with you, Tabby. Noise. The class collectively groaned. Tabby breathed a quiet sigh of relief. Stu's just over it. The class collectively groaned again. I know that's sarcasm, but oh my goodness. I love to see the interactions between these two. That wasn't a threat, that was just teasing. She's so flabbergasted. Your hands shot up in the air. Mr. Teacher picked out one of them. Go, Dan! Good job. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Tabby tuned the rest of the lecture out, only listening for what themed decoration was being offered next. Mr. Teacher droned on and on until finally... Ooh. Oh, she's interested. Tabby was never a class participation kind of girl, but now her hand flew up in the air. Mr. Teacher looked at Tabby, eyebrows raised in acknowledgement. By some Halloween miracle, she could see her name forming on his lips. Ooh. Tabby seethed at the injustice of it all. Tabby was the one with a special connection with skeletons, but every single year, well, only last year, but last year Eden swept it and snatched her what she wanted, what she deserved. Mr. Teacher looked at Tabby, taken aback, as if he forgot she even existed. Tabby gritted her teeth. I can't defend you, girl. I'm sorry. She really didn't want to let this go, but everyone was staring, and her stupid cheeks were getting redder and redder. Even as Tabby clapped a hand over her mouth at her outburst, Mr. Teacher raised an eyebrow in judgment. The angry part of Tabby wished she could smack the disapproving expression off his face. But her frustration withered away as she crumpled into herself, heart sinking. That's a perfectly reasonable compromise. So nice. Eden grinned at Tabby. Tabby felt a horrified shiver run down her spine, and she braced herself for what was coming. Yeah, but that was just teasing. I feel like she's just taken it a little too far. Eden held out a fish, stood towards Tabby. She scowled at Mr. Teacher. Oh. He's not a bully. He's just a good guy. The class moved on, but Tabby just sat to reliving the feeling of everyone laughing at her. I am not on her side. I'm sorry. Like, I understand we are seeing things from her perspective, but outside looking in, there's nothing wrong with these interactions. Soon all the decorations were assigned and the class split off into their working groups. Slowly the room began to look more and more spectacular. As a reward for their hard work, Mr. Teacher handed out spooky stickers, spouting Halloween facts all the while. But of course, he skipped over Tabby entirely. They're even trying to include her. Look at that. Even trying to include her. They were clearly taunting her. No point in staying around a bunch of bullies. They're not. Oh my goodness. This girl Tabby started packing up her bag, watching the clock anxiously so she could be the first one out of the class when the bell rang. Look at that! Callum speaks! It's a miracle! Tabby's mind struggled to make sense of what was happening. Yes, Tabby, he's talking to you. She had never even spoken to this popular kid before, much less seen him approach her general vicinity. Nope, he's just trying to help you out. Just take it and run with it, please. In the right direction. Caleb patted Tabby on the shoulder and she recoiled, almost hissing at him. Personal space, please. But then, oddly enough, Tabby felt a tingle on her shoulder where he had touched her, like butterflies were dancing on her skin. What the? Girl, she wasn't developing a crush, was she? Caleb gave her a small smile. Wasn't that what she had always wanted, to have someone see her, really see her, as the person worth talking to? Now here was someone who was ready to back her up at last. What is he barking at? Tabby crossed her arms, and now she's throwing a fit. Caleb inclined his head at Tabby in thoughtful agreement. As the rest of the students continued to work on bringing the Halloween spirit to life, Tabby bounced in her seat, almost vibrating in place with sudden energy. She barely heard Mr. Teacher announce to the class that it was time to clean up. Not long after, the bell rang. The other students shuffled out the door until there was only Caleb and Tabby left. Tabby turned her critical gaze towards Mr. Teacher and prepped herself to approach. Mr. Teacher hummed to himself, trying to ignore the grouchy elephant in the room. He reminded himself that he became a teacher because he wanted to inspire the next generation. Good for you! He genuinely cared about his lessons and wanted everyone to enjoy his classes. But for reasons out of his control, kids could be real shit. Yeah! Kids could be real shit. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it so much. There were kids who tuned his lessons out, kids who rolled their eyes at everything he said, even kids who managed to scowl at him for a full hour. Tabby, I wonder who? Kids like, oh, look at that, Tabitha Jones. Not Jones Bones. Her expression had been so disarming, so spooky, that he had been too nervous to even go near her. Now she was standing in front of his desk with her arms crossed and an equally wicked scowl on her face. What reason did she have to glower at him? If anything, if the horror stories from the other teachers were to be believed. Rumor had it, last Halloween, a girl who, with a permanently gloomy demeanor, had attempted to bring butcher bones in as decoration. Well, the girl in question didn't have any bones on hand now. Mr. Teacher willed himself to be brave. Oh, jeez. He cleared his throat once, twice. Tabby took a deep breath, sensing the reservations Mr. Teacher had towards her. She was glad Caleb was with her. Mr. Teacher who stared at her in stunned silence. Tabby sped onwards, afraid to lose her courage. Mr. Teacher furrowed his brow, lip trembling ever so slightly. Ouch. He was hurt by Tabby's words more than either of them probably expected. She could probably sniff out his people-pleasing tendencies. But he could just as easily put those away, especially to call out students who had stepped out of line. Tabby glared at him, readying herself for an accusation. Mr. Teacher braced himself against the desk, trying to remain calm at the obvious hatred being beamed towards him. Abby gestured to the spot next to her only to be met with empty space. Mr. Teacher's frown deepened and he flexed his fingers in agitation. What kind of bluff was she trying to pull? There were no other students left in the room. Mr. Teacher got up from his desk, glad to be out of range from Tabby's burning gaze. He poked his head at the classroom, hoping Eden hadn't wandered off already. Luckily, the boy was still close by, chatting with a familiar green-haired student. Mr. Teacher felt vindicated at seeing Callum out in the hallway. Clearly, Tabby had been mistaken. Eden raised his eyebrows, but didn't hesitate to re-enter the classroom. Tabby exhaled loudly from the outside. She appeared to be flaring her nostrils in deep frustration. Eden shrugged. He's just like, oh, damn, I fucked up. The realization of the fuck up. The teacher pinched the bridge of his nose, feeling it an uncomfortable tingling in his brow, like a headache was settling in. Or worse, a migraine. Children were always so noisy. He hoped they would settle down soon, but not that they ever did. Never fast enough, never listening to his pleas to be quiet. Tabby and Eden both fell silent, unused to this harsher tone from their homeroom teacher. No, it didn't need to be. All those years of being a doormat for kids much too young to know better than him. Waves of resentment washed over him, built up from countless instances of holding his tongue, of being the adult. That's right. He was in charge, not them. He needed to reclaim his space and authority. That was low, even for Eden. Mr. Teacher's voice was strained and whispery. Eden probably hurt his feelings. No. Mr. Teacher clutched his head, gritted his teeth. He didn't trust himself to speak. Instead, he shut his eyes tight, hoping Tabby would be magically gone when he opened them again. He could hear Tabby shuffling from foot to foot in front of his desk. It also sounded like she was opening her mouth and closing it again every few seconds, which irritated him even more. Mr. Teacher's eyes snapped open. The sight of Tabby still standing around and glaring at him made his blood pressure spike. Why was that brat still here? Hadn't he told her to leave? She never listened, always thinking she was in the right, always thinking she knew best, to a little brat like her. The tingling got worse, making it harder for her, Mr. Teacher, to think clearly. Only one line of thought made it through his mental fog. Tabby shrunk back fearfully as Mr. Teacher smiled, a too wide smile with too many teeth. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Tabby backed away, bumping it immediately into a desk. The blood seemed to drain from her face. Oh! What? Huh? What? I'm confused. Tabby jumped out of the way as Mr. Teacher's brand new claws just barely missed her head. Not head, arm. Ugh. The desk that Tabby had just been standing in front of crumpled beneath Mr. Teacher's weight. Noah landed it and stared at Tabby from the wreckage with cool reptilian eyes. Was not Mr. Teacher. Instead... Dun dun. Ooh! Huh. He or it lunged at her once more. She dove under the darkest desk. Not dark. I can't read today. Under the nearest desk. But she didn't dare her to stay there for long. Tabby crawled backwards to the next set of tables was fast as her poor blood record allowed. Oh no. The desk she had just been under flew across the room and shattered against the wall. Ooh. With desperation and fear coursing through her, Tabby scrambled to her feet. Gunning it for the classroom next door, Tabby pounced on the doorknob. Hold on. I gotta stop for a second. I gotta see what my pup's doing. Of course it's locked. From behind, she could hear warbled snarling before a dark shape sailed overhead. Smash. The pulverized debris of what had once been a desk rained down on her. Tabby shrieked and covered her head. She tried the doorknob again, despite knowing it was no use. Tabby whipped around, pressing herself into the door like she might be able to phase through it. The monster approached her with a bloodthirsty aura and clever eyes. He had her cornered, and he knew it. At the sight of his misshapen, uncanny, too-sharp grin, Tabby's legs gave out, like her body knew the fight would be over soon. She couldn't blame them. Everyone always abandoned her in the end. Why try anymore? There was nothing more she could do. It's not like Mr. Teacher was ever going to listen. He never had to before, so why would this time be any different? She just wished, for once in her miserable life, someone who would have really, truly stayed by her side. He's a cute little guy. Mr. Monster chased after the nuisance, his jaws snapping wildly. Whatever the tiny creature was, it zipped around the room in a panic. What's she supposed to do? Tabby gaped at the little guy in alarm. She had no energy left to fight, just as good as over. What did it want from her? Tabby took one look at Mr. Monster's terrifying teeth and the tiny red being running around the desk, and hightailed it to the corner of the room as far from them as possible. Mr. Monster swiped at Strength, who darted into a high corner of the ceiling, temporarily out of his reach. The pixie huffed, eyeing Mr. Monster nervously. He threw an equally nervous glance at Tabby. Suddenly and unexpectedly, Strength brightened up, snapping his fingers. Strength whipped out a sparkly wand the size of his body from who knows where. At least we know better. You hear that? No taking candies from strangers. Oh my goodness. He's so done with her already. Mr. Monster pounced at Strength, swiping his claws at the shiny object. The wand flew out of Strength's hand and spun towards Tabby. Tabby grabbed it and let out a few practice swings, preparing to bash whatever came her way with it. Despite zipping through the air to avoid Mr. Monster's jaws, Strength's voice reached Tabby with surprisingly clear instructions. You heard him. Eat it. While Mr. Monster, who was still fixated on Strength, Tabby weighed her options. Candy from a stranger tastes like regret. Tabby gripped the wand with fear and fury. She hated being told what to do, but if it was a choice between suspicious candy and the jaws of a monster, she'd take the jawbreaker any day. but it had better be strawberry flavored, not be strawberry flavored. Ooh, we get a sequence? Oh! Oh! She's so baffled. Tabby tried to reorient herself in space, frantically looking for the whereabouts of the monster in the room. The monster stared back at Tabby, a bewildered expression on his face. He didn't seem to be coming after her just yet, but... Tabby quickly scanned the room for any sign of strength. Had he been eaten already? She had been ready to rip it into him, demand an explanation for, well, everything. She glanced down at herself, trying to pinpoint the source of the soft jingling noise she kept hearing. A giant pom-pom obstructed her part of her view, beyond which all she could see was a gaudy mix of red and black. You got a new outfit, girl. Nope. Strength continued rambling, but was nowhere to be seen. Was his voice coming from inside Tabby's brain? Nope. You don't sound totally okay, Strength. Tabby started to shake, half crying, half laughing, at the ridiculous situation. The bells on her horrific outfit jingled with her tremors. Mr. Monster tilted his head at the sound, eyes glinting. Ding, ting, stick, ting-a-ling. Mr. Monster was before her in one pounce. His claws raked through the air straight towards Tabby's head. By pure instinct, Tabby dodged the attack, doing a backflip across the room. Tabby did feel a little stronger than usual, but a backflip. Maybe that candy was magic. Let's be a little daring. Taking advantage of his hindered speed, Tabby snatched the string of skulls and caution tape off the walls. Now she was the one stampeding towards Mr. Monster. Tabby grinned, knowing he wouldn't be able to lay a single claw on her. She made several tight turns around the beast, wrapping the decorations around his legs with speed and agility. Mr. Monster thrashed around violently, but the makeshift binding seemed to hold for now. Oh, really, Strength? Oh. Oh, now you realize there's magic. The decorations around Mr. Monster's legs began to tear. On cue, Tabby swung the wand at Mr. Monster and beat him with it. Tabby aggressively waved the wand at Mr. Monster, managing to smack him in the face again. The monster slumped back, eyes rolling around in pain. Tabby moved her arm in a wider circle, swinging the wand above her head like it was a lasso. A soft glow enveloped both of them. As if by magic, Tabby felt the ridiculous outfit she was wearing pop off. Suddenly, she was back in her regular clothes. Mr. Monster's whimpers faded into a groan of a rapidly approaching middle-aged teacher. The soft light dissipated. Mr. Teacher blinked once, twice. He shrugged instinctively against the decorations binding his legs and then looked around the room horrified. On cue, someone pounded at the door. Miraculously, the locked door swung open and students poured into the room. It was clear from the sound levels that a small crowd had formed outside. Gossipy chatter turned immediately into horrified gasps. They were audible from the hall and maybe even the classrooms. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Tabby's pride at having defeated a monster quickly shifted into a nervous apprehension. I mean, Strength has a point. Ooh. The last accusation finally shook Tabby out of her stupor. Ooh. I mean, fair. He's trying his breath. He's trying his breath. I'm gonna stop talking for right now. Trying his best. Oof. Ooh. Callum stepped forward and stood between her and the crowd of students. Despite his outburst, he didn't seem angry and smiled kindly at them instead. For a split second, he directed his smile at Tabby. At Caleb's authoritative direction, the group that had formed dissipated. After a few seconds, Tabby was alone with the green-haired boy. Ignoring Strand's comments, Tabby focused her attention on Callum, unsure what he wanted to with her, or if she would still trust him after he disappeared on her. Oh! Got his own little guy! The last thought faded away as Tabby noticed Caleb had a gremlin of his own on his shoulder. Unlike Strength, Caleb's pixie companion had a quieter energy. He stared at Tabby with critical and sleepy eyes. Oh, so we're going off of tarot. Nice. Caleb spoke again, pushing his glasses higher up on the bridge of his nose.
Even though my plans have slightly, what's the word? Misfired.
Misfired? Misfired? That's more than a misfire, you weirdo! You fit that crazy one!
That is ambiguous. Yes and no. Both can be, and indeed are.
Hmm.
Can you cut the crap? Explain yourself! And use words under 4 syllables, damn it!
My intentions all along have been to get that horrible bully. A menace. An annoying, terrible menace. Like a cicada, and otherwise perfectly brewed cup of coffee.
Caleb's tried not tie. I can't read today. Hey, Caleb's tirade came to a sudden halt as the magician wordlessly tugged on his collar. In response, the boy tilted his head to listen as the pixie whispered something into his ear. The magician nodded. Well, at least he told him. He stopped for a moment, seeking the pixie's approval. The magician nodded again. Caleb took it as permission to continue. Magician gave Caleb's collar a sharp tug. He was gonna say manipulation.
The assignment was clear from the start. Get Eden to fight the teacher, or let himself trying. Get Eden's sense of attention, ruin Eden's reputation, book a vacation to celebrate. I don't know.
With each word that left Caleb's mouth, the strength's round little face twisted into an increasingly worried frown. That's fair. That one is fair. You're just like, oh yeah, I probably didn't. Caleb frowned, clearing his throat.
Your sake, you had to keep the monster contained.
Mm-hmm. It was not planned, and we can tell. Hmm.
Which unfortunately involves subjecting you to close proximity with that orange-haired wretch. It was almost in her grasp. Look how close we got. Indeed, imagine what the two of you could achieve together, fully powered up. Yes, the heights we could reach, the punishment we could inflict. Or we don't think about that. I'm a big fan of talking things out.
Oh dear gods. Oh dear gods.
Bit of mischief in the book. I wouldn't be surprised if he committed arson on my house. If given the chance, I swear, it was that bad.
Yes, yes, finally, someone else who understood what she had been through. Strength is so confused. And musicians just like, just go with it. I've tried already. Chubby Hat nodded, eyes glistening with vindication. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. That is... Oh, my goodness. That is not logic, Tabby.
Yes.
Oh, dear gods. Tabby grinned gleefully, coming into her conclusion. No! Why? Just why, Tabby? Why?
Fun as it would be to vaporize every annoying person on Earth. There are other ways to get revenge on them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I mean... The next day, it was a dark and stormy Tuesday. As thick clouds gathered overhead, the air inside Middling Middle School was charged with the fervent whispers of students spreading the latest news. Poor guy. Today is Tuesday. Dun, dun, dun. It's time to judge your homeroom decorations.
Judges will be aroused. Then check out all of them. Great work. So get those finishing touches in as soon as you can. But don't worry if you don't win today. Tomorrow we'll be hosting more sporty activities for all mascots to enjoy. Sports. The volleyball team. Yay!
Tabby tuned out the rest of the announcement. Despite her bravado yesterday, she felt a sense of dread about entering her homeroom classroom. A gnawing ache in her gut at the thought of having to interact with her classmates wasn't anything new. But this was a weird feeling to be having in light of recent events. Oh, jeez. Straith popped out from inside Tabby's hood, shaking his head vigorously. Tabby, no! Strength climbed gingerly onto Tabby's shoulders. Listen to your pixie! Strength took a closer look at Tabby's eerily calm expression and rubbed his hands together uneasily.
What you're saying isn't entirely wrong. But maybe, just maybe, great power.
Tabby twirled one of her braids absentmindedly around her finger. Oh, dear gods. Tabby, no! Tabby nodded sagely. Oh, this girl. As Straith struggled to turn the moment into a learning opportunity, Tabby strode into class, head held uncharacteristically high. I mean, go girl, find you some confidence, I guess. She froze in the door, shocked by the interior of the classroom. Tabby expected everyone to turn at her entrance and start whispering about her. Instead, her classmates barely registered her presence or her outburst. And more bizarrely, the destruction left in the wake of her unexpected battle yesterday. The decorations had been painstakingly taped back together, some covered with a new layer of paint and glitter to hide the tears and cracks. A pile of broken tables and chairs were haphazardly set off to the side, and some students were sitting on the ground. Tabby rounded on strength, a commendable achievement considering the pixie had been clinging to her shoulder. A fellow classmate stared wide-eyed at Tabby, who appeared to be raving at nothing. The other student gave Tabby a careful look. They gestured to the figure sitting in an odd face-down position, a dark mop of black and orange streaked hair sprawled across the desk. Of course it had to be Eden. Oh, jeez. Strength cautiously poked his head out from Tabby's hood, making sure to steer clear from the view of the other students. Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah. Girl, you got problems. That's all I'm gonna say. Girl, you got problems. Alright. A few other students gently patted Eden on the back, and he sat up with a jolt, startling more than a few of them. Eden gave the curious onlookers a sleepy, lopsided half smile, but didn't confirm their suspicions. He really didn't have to. His fingers were still slightly crusted in orange paint and a solid layer of glitter. Tabby heard a gentle pounding in the distance, like a war drum coming in from a long way off. It took her a moment to realize it was the pounding of her own heart, slowly growing louder in her ears. He gave a good-natured pat to the jack-o'-lantern lunch box sitting by his backpack. Eden flashed them an award-winning pearly smile. To Tabby, it felt disingenuous at best, insidious at worst. Like he was mocking her with while he got along with everyone else. The pounding shifted it into a distant roar in her ears, almost drowning out the nervous muttering of her classmates. Ah, jeez. This kid. Girl, why? The bell rang, signaling the start of class. Tabby trudged dutifully to her spot at the back of the room, placing her backpack on one of the few undamaged desks. Eden laughed aloud, oblivious to Tabby's darkening brow. Tabby froze. Her hand reached for the wand stashed in her pocket. Oh, jeez. Alright, I think I'm gonna switch games now. Let's see here. There we go. Do a little stretch. Oh. All right. What do we want to do now? I am not on her side though, like at all. Jeez Louise. I don't know what I want to do now. Or could you just end it here for today? Because I gotta start making my lunch here soon. So with that being said, I suppose I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining me on this interesting little expedition of this game, and I am excited to play it again here soon. At some point. I don't know when, but it is a fun game, and I'm glad I got to play it. I shall continue. Anyways, have a great rest of your day. Bye!